asked by many of you around the world, how can I find a great vocal coach? For anyone out there who's a singer, actor, or speaker looking for a vocal coach and you don't quite know how to find the right one, I would like to give you some really useful tips on how to select a coach that works for you. The first thing you want to do is find someone who connects with you, someone who watches you and who understands and gets you. If they don't connect with you, how do you expect to be able to do the most vulnerable thing in front of someone who you don't have a connection with? Second thing, get someone who cares about your goals. If they don't even ask you what your vocal goals are, or think they can just put you into a box and say, well, this is what you must learn, stand this way and do this, I would run, because they're not really concerned with helping you evolve. Let them, make sure it's someone who actually listens to you. The next thing is someone who knows vocal anatomy and how your voice works. You want someone that understands the larynx and at least knows where it is and knows how to help you avoid vocal nodules and knows how to help you stabilize your larynx so it's not bouncing all over the place. Someone who will actually assess you and so you can see your progress. Someone who gives you honest feedback. Sometimes coaches don't give feedback at all. Like they'll just, okay, that was fine. It's like, well, I want to know, how did I do? Make sure you find a coach that can educate you about vocal health. And not just, like when I say vocal health, it's really your mental health and your emotional health and your physical health. That's important. Next thing is, if your coach doesn't have a reputable website, I would question them. I mean, even if it's just their picture and their address and information and like some testimonials, okay? If the coach doesn't have that, they're probably not a real vocal coach or someone that's just trying to make an extra buck, especially if you're here in LA, people. Please, don't go to a coach who doesn't have a website. I would pick a vocal coach who knows about body language. Like when you're singing and if you're doing like different things, people bump into habits and say mum, 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 mum. You know, there's different things. It's like if a coach can catch you, not just with your head bobbing up and down, but just other aspects of looking and feeling confident in your own skin. Important. Someone who's going to help you become more authentic, right? How are they going to do that? Well, there's many ways. Someone who will encourage you to get through the walls. This is a really important one. A lot of times coaches don't know what to do with this. A singer will be singing, all of a sudden they'll either start laughing, or they'll go no, or they'll stop, or they'll throw a fit. They'll just be like, oh, I can't do that, my voice keeps cracking. And it's really important to have a coach that knows, what do I do? This student is freaking out. Someone that can handle you, okay? Hopefully you won't freak out though, right? Because you're fabulous. And a coach that makes it fun. These are things a good, reputable vocal coach never does. Number one, never name drops to get your money. Especially here in LA, you might not have to worry about that in other places. But if you're going to name drop, it's like, you know, do you want to study with me because I can relate to you? Or do you want to study with me because I know Whitney Houston? Or I know Lady Gaga. I mean, that would be really cool. But after a while, it gets old, trust me. Right, Lady Gaga? All right. Don't study with a coach if they tell you their way is the only way. This is the only method. This method is proven and it's the only way for you to build your voice. All the other methods are bad. There's plenty of ways to get to one place, okay? Next, if you feel uncomfortable with your coach, it's a pretty good sign that they're not going to be the right person for you. If you feel scared, or now a lot of times those are your issues, but if the coach is doing something to infringe upon your energy and you don't feel like you can expand who you are, run. Not a good match. If a coach tells you to push your voice, push through, it even uses the word push, run. You're going to push some nodes up in those vocal folds. You never want to push when you sing, you want to allow. If you have a coach that's trying to make you fit into their way of singing, sound like me, blah, or they say, this is the way you must sing like this. They're trying to teach you opera and you want to know opera, but that's what they know, run. Okay, now if you want to know opera and they're singing opera and you like them, great. But if it doesn't align with you, if it's not who you are, not a good match. You're paying someone to teach you something. It better be something that you enjoy doing. So you pick the song. Now, on the other hand, if you're like, well, I don't really care what I sing, I just want to learn, then yeah, you're asking for a teacher to pick something that they want you to sing. If you have a vocal coach who laughs at you when you sing, and is really denigrating you and telling you you'll never make it, you're just kidding yourself, run. That would be abuse. A lot of times what happens, like as a teacher, is you start to tap into the student's psyche, because when they're singing, they're giving information. A lot of it can be really negative. And so the coach is sitting there minding their own business, and all of a sudden they get all this negative inner dialogue, and they're like, oh, she hates this, she hates that. And then without even realizing it, if you don't have a coach who's grounded in who they are, they'll reflect back to you a lot of your own negativity, which really feels yucky. So we don't want that. We want someone that can recognize what's yours. We want a coach who knows, hey, that's theirs, and I'm going to help diffuse that and help this person work through their brain, their inner mind, so that they can become more empowered in what they do. And then lastly, if you have a coach who makes you feel rushed, who's like always run, because you want to have your own internal rhythm and understand, there's so many layers to understanding your voice, people. So many incredible layers. I can't even, this video is actually a lot harder to make than I thought it would be, because all this stuff is just flowing through my mind as I'm speaking, like, oh, remember this, remember that. But basically, you don't want to rush anybody, and you don't want to be rushed. Hopefully the things that I shared will be useful to you as you find the best vocal coach that suits you. And just remember, guys, go with your gut. When you work with a vocal coach, it's a very intimate thing, and you want to make sure that it's the right person for you. So this is why I want to identify these things for you to help you in your vocal journey. I wish you the best of luck. Bye.